Big day on the Hill tomorrow. Tomorrow, the Republicans are going to prove for the 31st time just how determined they are to block President Obama from helping middle-class Americans. The House plans to vote to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act tomorrow. It'll be the 31st time these representatives vote to repeal, gut, or simply dismantle the Affordable Care Act. Let me repeat that. These Republicans, led by Speaker John Boehner, have voted to get rid of the Affordable Health Care Act 30 times. It passed the House every time, only to die in the Senate. But Speaker Boehner insists this is what America wants.
I promised the American people on opening day of this Congress that this would never be about us. Our Congress would be about listening to the American people and following their will. The American people do not want to go down the path of Obamacare. That's why we've voted over 30 times to repeal it, defund it, replace it.
Well, Speaker Boehner is wrong. America wants him to stop it. The newest Kaiser Family Foundation poll shows voters want Republicans to stop blocking the law and move on to other issues. That's 56% overall. 51% of these voters are independents. The Republican effort to block affordable health care is unpopular and it's pointless. President Obama will veto it.
Our health care law was the right thing to do. It was the right thing to do. And you know what? I will work with anybody to improve the health care law where we can. But this law is here to stay.
And the president's getting traction with that message. Attitudes are changing since the Supreme Court upheld the Affordable Care Act. A new Washington Post ABC News poll shows growing support for federal health care reform. Tomorrow, the Republicans will vote to repeal health care. They'll be wrong for the 31st time in a row. Let's turn to Congressman Steve Israel of New York, chairman of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. Steve, good to have you with us tonight. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming on.
Good to be with you, buddy.
What are these guys up to? I mean, this is political theater. I actually think that they think that there's some head shakers out there that think that they really have a chance of getting this through. What's the mission here? What do you think?
Well, look, the mission is to protect health insurance company profits, even if it undermines the middle class. And if they'll keep doing it for as long as they have the majority in the House of Representatives. They'll do it 30 times, 60 times, 90 times. They'll do it every day if they have to until they protect those health insurance company profits, even if they're taking away important patient protections from the middle class. Here's the contrast between us, Ed. House Democrats want to vote on comprehensive legislation to create jobs to strengthen the middle class. House Republicans want to move backwards and vote 31 times to repeal important patient protections that help the middle class. That's the difference between us, and that's why there's this buyer's remorse that puts the House in play.
New Jersey Governor Chris Christie calls it extortion. Here it is.
Obamacare on Medicaid to the states was extortion. Essentially said, you expand your program to where we tell you, and if you don't, we're taking all the rest of your money away. Well, that's extortion.
What's your response to that?
You know what extortion is? Extortion is taking people's money for health insurance and then telling them, if you're a woman with breast cancer, that we took your money, but it's a pre-existing condition, so we're kicking you off the policy. Extortion is telling people that want to keep their kids on their health insurance policies until they're 26, that the kids get kicked off. Extortion is what the Republicans are doing now. Extortion is taking votes to protect health insurance company profits and then extorting the middle class by doing nothing to help them.
So in some way, is this vote going to help the Democrats on the campaign trail?
Oh, let me tell you, if I were a House Republican, I would not want to go home to my district next weekend and explain to people why I took away their protections. I would not like to talk to a woman with breast cancer and explain to her why I voted to make breast cancer a pre-existing condition again. I would not like to have to talk to a senior citizen at a town hall meeting and explain to them why I just voted to reinstate the donut hole and increase their prescription prices. Okay. I would not like to explain why, once again, I have put insurance company profits ahead of the middle class. Ed, they started their majority by voting to end Medicare. to help millionaires. They're going to end their majority by repealing patient protections to help insurance company profits. I'm fine with that.
On the tax issue, should every Democrat get on the same page and support the president and go home and campaign on what he talked about yesterday?
I think every Democrat needs to coalesce for to continue the middle class tax cuts. That's what the president said. You know, I wish we could find the right balance and compromise with the Republicans, but my guess is this. If we said to them it's $1 million, they'd say no. If we said to them it's $1 billion, they would say no. They're saying no to everything. We need to create jobs, protect the middle class, and move on.
Congressman Steve Israel, good to have you with us. Thanks so much. There's a lot more coming up in the next half hour of The Ed Show. Stay with us.
Your right to vote. It's one thing you never want to miss out on.
The state of Pennsylvania gets busted for paying a Mitt Romney fundraiser to run their voter ID campaign. The big panel takes on that story next. Florida Governor Rick Scott is answering charges that his administration covered up a tuberculosis outbreak so they could shut down a government hospital. Details ahead. And shortchanging the bravest. Tonight, my exclusive interview with a Scranton firefighter forced to take a pay cut all the way down to the minimum wage.